We're here in a very damp Portland, Oregon to test drive the all-new third generation Acura MDX. The car is lighter, it's more user-friendly, and most important of all, it's more fuel efficient. When you first look at the new third generation Acura MDX, you may not think there's much has changed to it. It looks similar, the style is evolutionary, it's not groundbreaking, it's not totally different. It's quieter on the inside, the interior is simplified, and it's easier to work through. So when you go through and you sit back and you think about the third generation MDX, a lot has changed. People complained about the previous car being a little too wide, so for the new car, they've made it a little more narrower. It's also a little bit shorter, but the one dimension where it did grow was that it became a little bit longer, about 2 inches longer. I mean, there's still plenty of room. I'm not necessarily bumping into anybody, and I think it was a good move by them to do it. Now, the engine's downsized compared to the outgoing car. The previous one had a 3.7 liter V6, but now it's a 3.5 liter. It adds direct injection. You have 290 horsepower, but on the flip side, they've taken 275 pounds out of the whole car. So when you're behind the wheel and you step on it, it doesn't feel like it's lagging or anything like that. It feels pretty much similar to the previous car. Acura basically looked at every part of the car and saw where they could take some weight out. Basically the body in white now, it uses a lot more high-strength steel, so that cuts weight right there. There's a magnesium beam that goes through the console, which is lighter compared to the outgoing aluminum one, and it's also stiffer. They dropped weight in the seats, they dropped weight in the HVAC system, they dropped weight in the power steering system, and the result is 275 pounds, that's a lot of weight. A lot of customers complain about the steering in the previous MDX. In this new generation MDX, it's an electric system. It's lightened up quite a bit, but actually it is adjustable. There's comfort, normal, and sport. But then sport, it does heft up a bit. It's not as heavy as the old system. I prefer the previous hydraulic system because I'm an enthusiast, but am I in the market to buy a 3-row luxury SUV? Probably not. Put a pretty big focus on the interior materials. In the cabin, it is quieter now. There's thicker acoustic glass for the windshield in the front. There's less hard mounted points to the body itself, so there's just less chance for more noise and just stuff you don't want to hear getting in the interior. Accessing the third row is easier now because the second row of seats can also move forward. There's this one button, spring-loaded, you hit it, and it's just real easy. But the big news is the center console. The previous car had over 40 hard buttons on it, but this year there's only 9 hard buttons now, and then there's a touch screen, which definitely cuts down and makes it a little simpler, and it's a lot cleaner looking. So when you first look at the new Acura MDX, it may not look very different, but in reality, when you think about it and just go through and take a look at what it has to offer, a lot has changed.
Catch all the latest auto enthusiast news at AutoWeek.com, in Auto Week magazine and iPad edition. Talk with us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at AutoWeek USA.